Look, if you have one chemical equation for photosynthesis in one moment, would you memorize it or let it slip?
Yo's brain is mush, but he has the rush to memorize the lush numbers to which the teacher teaches and preaches, but somehow he is nervous on the surface to remember what he learned in class and not to harass the teacher about the letters and numerals of photosynthesis. It comes to him slow, but it is on the go and is a little long, don't you know, and it has an O, so here it goes. Sun plus 6CO2 plus 6H2O arrow, C6H12O plus 6O2. Photosystem 2 is the first protein complex in the light, and with all its might, it is located in the thylakoid membrane of plants. The absorption of sunlight contains molecules called pigments, and that is not a figment of your imagination. Splitting of H2O, oxygen, or what we call water, is not a slaughter. It's broken down into oxygen and hydrogen, and it's a version, not a surgeon, that occurs in photosynthesis. Electrons transfer through the ETC like 1, 2, and 3, and photosynthesis 1 is an integral membrane protein complex, and it's not a hex that uses light energy to produce a high energy carriers. Could be barriers, but not. And it got ATP and NADPH at 700 nm. Plants pigment molecules absorb only light, and that is right in the range of the wavelengths, with chloroplasts trying to convert and no subvert light energy into chemical energy. Electrons are transported into two, and that's some information you can chew on. These electrons used to produce and not seduce NADPH and ATP in a series. That could be a little blurry if you haven't been paying attention to reactions called the light reactions, because with all what's right, they require light to go on, with energy used to pump and not to dump hydrogen ions across the mitochondrial membrane from the matrix without Neo, and not even including Nat Geo. Along with their intermembrane space, a chemiosmotic gradient causes hydrogen ions that you can't even see onto rhythm and flow back across and be the boss to the mitochondrial membrane through ATP synthase, producing ATP, and you can OPP me. The call needs to spend energy to finish, kinda like Popeye when he eats his spinach. A task is done when the ATP molecule splits like a popping zit, and it becomes ADP from one of its three phosphates, and you cannot hate that scientific equation. And let me tell you about my boy named Calvin. His cycle has 4 main steps: carbon fixation, reduction phase, carbohydrate formation, and regeneration phase. And in the haze that is real, we have a deal. For the carbon fixation, carbon from CO2 enter the cycle, and the name is not Michael, and it adds to 5C molecules to form 6C molecules. ATP and NADPH from light are very tight and are from light-dependent reactions that give actions, and are used to split the 6C molecules to 2 3C molecules. The 3C ain't no BC, are rearranged to form out of the norm. High energy 3C molecules to 3C molecules form 1,6C glucose, and that's the most. When the 3C molecules are changed back with no more yakety yak, the 5C molecules to continue the cycle. And what's dropping science, yo? And that's dropping science, yo. Biology. Survey High School, yeah. Very gangster. Class of 2023. Hi, Mr. Hugo. You're the biggest homie. Photosynthesis, man. No comment.